Good evening, everybody. Welcome to day 14 of National Poetry Month. Coming right along into the midway. Tomorrow will mark that official midway. But I've got poems for you. Tonight I've got three poems. Three poems to hopefully whet your appetite for more poetry, for discussion about the poetry, for whatever. It just so happens that tonight's poems all have a theme as well. That's not even just so happens, it's on purpose, really. Um, like I've been saying, I've been going in order of my book, how they appear in here, analog poems. With the exception of two, I switched some around last night, and the night before I switched those around. Um, so really, real technically should have come first. But anyway, tonight's poem is a heavy themed poem, a heavy handed poem. I go like many of my other poems, despite the fact that I might use metaphors, I go right at it. Not a very happy poem, not a very uh, pleasant poem, if you will. But poetry, in my mind and in my heart, doesn't always have to be pretty. Um, so that's the fact of the matter as far as I'm concerned. But as life has it, as the universe has dictated, I guess, too. Tonight's poem of mine, because it has very heavy-handed theme, I picked a couple poems that kind of go with that heavy-handedness and issues that kind of face the world and America and us as Americans, or if you're not an American, um, a citizen of whatever country you might be a resident and citizen of. As I know, I do know some people, and I'm related to people who live other places in the world. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is tonight's poems are uh, very world issue oriented and very world issue minded, particularly here in America. Because that's, when it comes down to it, I'm an American, um, doing what I can to be the strongest, proudest, loudest, and fightingest American I possibly can. But anyway, before I go on and say any more rambling, I want to tell you right now that three poems I have are they're kind of varied. Obviously, mine's my own. The other two are from different walks of life, but they speak to the same kind of themes. I'm going to start with this poem here called "I Too" by Langston Hughes. Yeah, and I have repeated him. I did a poem of his a couple nights ago, but I want to do another one tonight because it fits the idea I'm talking about. And as luck will have it, tonight is also the Democratic debates too, and you'll hear more about my opinions on that end as I get into this a little bit further. But I want to get into poetry, and you'll hear me launch into a small tirade about my opinions on the primaries and all of that shortly. But here we go. Here's "I Too" by none other than Langston Hughes, one of my all-time favorite and poetic heroes. So here we go. I too sing America. I am the darker brother. They send me to eat in the kitchen when the company comes, but I laugh, and I eat well, and grow strong. Tomorrow I'll be at the table. When company comes, nobody'll dare say to me, eat in the kitchen. Nobody'll dare say eat in the kitchen then. Besides, they'll see how beautiful I am, and be ashamed. I, too, am America. And let me just tell you right now, that was Langston Hughes' way of saying Black Lives Matter before right now. And me saying Black Lives Matter doesn't mean that all lives matter any less. It doesn't mean my life matters any less. It just means that's the house that's on fire right now. If we're to achieve true equality, we have to recognize that others do in fact feel pain, and it is inflicted by others. All right, onward I go. I Too by Langston Hughes was that one. My next up uh, is a poem called Pity the Nation by Lawrence Ferlinghetti. I'm going to pull it out of this book here. It's one of those finds I happened upon in a bookstore. I mean, it was a very cheap find. I think I only paid like $8 for it. But anyway, it was I think one of the better poets of. He's still going, and he has a lot to say about the state of things here and abroad. But this is more talking about America. So pity the nation, after Khalil Gibran. Pity the nation whose people are sheep, and whose shepherds mislead them. Pity the nation whose leaders are liars, whose sages are silenced, and whose bigots haunt the airwaves. Pity the nation that raises not its voice, but aims to rule the world, by force or by torture, and knows no other language but its own. Pity the nation whose breath is money, and sleeps the sleep of the too well-fed. Pity the nation, oh pity the people of my country, tears of thee, sweet land of liberty. Pity the Nation by Lawrence Ferlinghetti. Excuse me. Heavy stuff right there. That, to me, is that saying, I mean, I think he says it right out. Pity the nation that puts more stock on people than causes, or candidates and politicians than causes. Because right now, I'm in that mode right now that, I've been a long time Bernie Sanders supporter. That's probably not a surprise to any of you watching this video. But I will tell you right now that the tact and style he's gone about using in this debate system and in this primary season has been disheartening, disenchanting. I'm the furthest thing from misogynist you'll probably ever meet, but there's certain misogynist shades going on in his campaign. On the other end, you got Hillary Clinton. And bless you people who are behind her. I'm not hating on you, but she's pretty shady. Let's just say it. She wasn't for gay marriage until it started becoming popular. And let's just make this very clear. Very clear. 2013, she was dead set against it. And it wasn't until a couple years ago that she was for it. I mean, look it up. I'm not lying. And then you go on the other side. You got your Ted Cruz's and your Donald Trumps, who I think and I believe don't even deserve to even be calling themselves presidential candidates. I mean, I might have my issues with what's going on the Democratic side, but those issues become subscriptions when I look at the Democratic or the Republican side of things. Trump is a maniacal. I don't even know how to talk about him without going on a well-oiled rampage in words on him. And in Cruz, not much different. Not much different. Those are my opinions. I have a lot to back them up, but I don't trust either of those men anywhere near as I do the people on the left side of the wings. Despite what I said about either of them on the Democratic side, we're looking at total messes if any side of the GOP